You're killing yourself in the gym doing these hard ass workouts and you're eating all these fat burning foods on TikTok, yet the scale's still not dropping. So on today's video, I'm gonna show you why fat burning doesn't equate to fat loss.
Hey guys, my name's Michelle, Nita, Sarah, Peyton, Talia, Jazz, Marquita.
I'm a physique.
Product. Period. You love to see.
You already know what this is. It is Dr.Trehunna from physique. A lot of people have this notion that all because I am burning fat means that I should always be losing fat, right? There's a lot more variables that you're not taking into consideration, such as energy balance and such as your hormones. See, when people are thinking they are burning fat, they're thinking because I am walking on a treadmill because somebody on Instagram told me
that I burn way more fat walking on the treadmill
versus you running on a treadmill. Or you know what? Let me try keto, because when I do keto, I'm not eating a whole lot of carbs, and carbs are the devil. I'm just gonna magically start losing weight. Yet they realize
scale is still not dropping even though I'm doing this fat burning diet or fat burning workout.
The main reason why is because you're still not in a caloric deficit. When you are actually burning fat, it is two different steps. The first step is lipolysis. Your body actually releasing fat into your bloodstream, so now your body can actually use it as fuel. But then there's another action called beta oxidation, or simply put, fat oxidation. Your body actually burning the triglycerides, bringing it to the mitochondria to use it as a main source of fuel. So now when people are losing weight, they're not really trying to lose weight. They're telling themselves,
I want to specifically tone up my arms, lose my fupa, and oh yeah, I gotta get rid of this back roll.
Right? So you watching somebody on TikTok that's saying,
hey, if you actually walk on the treadmill opposed to you running on the treadmill, you're burning more fat.
Are they lying to you? No. Because when you are walking, that is an aerobic exercise, which means with oxygen. In order for your body to burn fat, it needs oxygen with it. When you are running, that is an anaerobic exercise, which means without oxygen. That's the exercise when you're huffing and puffing and now you gotta catch your breath for X amount of time. But one thing that a lot of people do not know, all because this person is not burning fat does not mean they're not gonna lose more weight than you. Let me give you an example. Let's say me and you are on the track. Let's say I walk 9 laps. I did not break a sweat. Let's say you run 8 laps, but you're running and now you're sweating profusely. Who worked out harder? In your head, you're probably thinking, of course, me, because I ran, right? But at the end of the day, I worked out harder. Why? Because I did 9 laps, which means I traveled a further distance than you. Simple. Which means I burned more calories than you. A lot of people don't view it like that. But now here's the thing. Let's say instead of us going off laps, we go off time. Let's say you run for 30 minutes. Let's say I walk for 30 minutes. It's safe to say, in theory, you're gonna travel more than me, which means now you burnt more calories than me. And yes, you walking, which is an aerobic exercise, means that throughout this walk, I burnt a little bit more fat per step. But because you ran more than me, you burnt more overall calories than me, which means that it's safe to say you burnt a little bit more fat than me as well. So when you see these social media influencers telling you,
hey, this is a fat burning food, or hey, this is a fat burning workout,
what they're really telling you is if you work out like this, you're actually targeting using fat more. But at the end of the day, if you are doing this fat burning workout and you're eating these fat burning foods, but you're overeating these fat burning foods, guess what? You're not burning fat. It is that simple. So it's all about calories in ultimately and calories out. If you are burning more fat, right, and you're also not giving your body a lot of fat, now you're in a caloric deficit, which means losing fat. But now a lot of people, they're doing this fat burning workout, or if they've been doing a diet for 4 to 5 days. But then when they get home, they tell themselves,
wow, I had this amazing workout. I did amazing on this diet. I seen the scale drop 2 pounds. I deserve a cheat meal.
And in that one cheat day, they overeat their calories so much that they kind of offset what they did in the whole entire week. That's why it's all about following a diet that is sustainable for you. A lot of women like to go vegan because they heard that it was healthy, but in the back of their head, they also know that they've seen a lot of skinny vegans. They're just really doing it because they're trying to lose weight. So they lose weight for about a month, maybe even 2, but then they start plateauing because they stop eating vegan. They start eating more plant-based junk foods, a little bit more rice now, a little bit more quinoa now. Oreos are plant-based. So now because they are actually switching over to stop eating whole foods and they start reverting back to a little bit more junk, palatable, ultra-processed foods, they don't know it, but now they're in a caloric deficit. A lot of people is following keto, and because they was really trying to lose weight in the beginning, they're following to the T. So for the first month, 2, or even 3, they are losing a whole lot of weight. And then they say,
"Hey Trey, I was following keto, but then I started to plateau."
but then when I ask them, they start saying, hey, I start incorporating a little bit more snacks, incorporate a little bit more nuts, or incorporate a little bit more of these dark chocolates, because hey, that's keto, Trey. Yet they're not taking into consideration
Every single almond cluster has about 150 calories.
and they know in the back of their head, I mean, some days I eat 3, sometimes 4. You are burning fat, but that's not going to dictate if you are in a fat deficit for the whole entire day. That's all contingent upon how many calories you are consuming in general. One thing I want you to consider when it comes to these diets, hey, everybody's body type is different, right? But the rules still apply. You gotta be in a caloric deficit. So all because they're following intermittent fasting doesn't mean that it might work for you. Intermittent fasting works because you're following a window. You have to be more intentional with what you're eating. You're not going to be grazing throughout the whole entire day like you usually do. And you should already know now that every single time you eat, you're literally telling your body to stop burning body fat and start storing this energy I'm providing to you. And the reason why intermittent fasting works is because the average American eats 14 hours out the day. So if the average American eats 14 hours out the day, and the whole purpose of eating is to store energy, but it's only 24 hours in a day, that means you're telling your body more times to store than burn. How do you expect to lose weight? That's why intermittent fasting works. But that doesn't mean that's the end all be all and that's the only way for us to lose weight. There's people out there that follows a high carb diet, but low fat. And what studies show, majority of the fat that's inside your triglycerides or inside your adipose tissue, that's not from glucose to fat. It's coming from actual fat. So if you're following a high carb diet, but you're being mindful of your fat intake, right? And you're active, guess what? You're not gonna gain as much fat as somebody who is following a low carb diet, right? And because they're eating low carb, they're telling themselves,
"Oh yeah, I can just use all the olive oil I want. Let me just dump it inside my pan and eat some eggs. Oh, you know what? These are some keto cookies, and I heard that keto is healthy, so technically I can eat all the cookies I want."
and because these cookies taste so good, you're eating a little bit more, and now you're in a caloric surplus, and now you're saying,
"Oh, my metabolism's broke. Oh, low carb don't work."
no, it's because you stop eating whole foods. So what you need to make sure is whatever dietary lifestyle you follow, it gotta be sustainable for you. I follow intermittent fasting. Why? Because naturally, I don't get hungry till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I can literally go the whole entire day, no matter what activity I do, I'm not gonna be hungry till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'm not doing it to actively lose weight. It just so happened to fit my lifestyle. But also, I am a foodie. I like to eat whatever I want sometimes, you know? Some days I might want some rice. Some days I might want some potatoes. Some days I want a peanut butter jelly sandwich at 9 o'clock, if not 10. So that means in order for me to do that, I make sure I'm putting better quality ingredients inside my body. The people that eat high carb, that eating potatoes every single day and eating the rice every single day, if you really pay attention, they're not adding butter. It's just salt. Maybe some pepper. No carb on this earth is bad. It's the associations you have with the carb that is bad. That Wonder Bread toast is not gonna get you fat, but if you grow up like me, you're gonna slap some butter on top of it, or you're gonna add some avocado to it. You mixing the carb with the fat. That's what gets people fat. If you follow a high carb diet, very low fat, 60 grams of fat or under, guess what? You're gonna lose weight. But also, the people that is doing that type of diet or protocol, they're not eating a lot of junk food. They're not eating things that's coming in a bag, box, or barcode. All their carbohydrates is coming from single food ingredients. Rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, quinoa. It's not coming from Doritos, Magic Spoon cereal, keto cookies. So when people demonize carbs, it's because they're eating the wrong quality carbs. all carbs are not created equal. Just like on the other foot, the people that's eating low carb and saying,
Okay, well, I'm doing a low carb diet.
but they're eating a whole lot of fatty products, keto chocolates, or low carb chips, or clusters, but one thing they don't pay attention to, it got a good amount of fat in it. It got 15 grams of fat. And you know, we probably eat 3 to 4 of them. So now you're overloading your body with the fat, which means what? Ain't that the thing that you're trying to burn? Because it came from fat, it's gonna be easy for your body to store this fat that you're eating to the fat inside your body versus this rice, then converting it to fat inside your body. So look at these things as tools in the toolbox. If you like to do high intensity interval training, this is one of the best things to burn fat. But if you know that after your high intensity workout, you are starving to death, and now you're looking at your pantry and your kitchen and everything can potentially be a victim, maybe high intensity workouts are not for you because you burn 500 calories, but you're about to eat 700 calories. If you're somebody who knows that, hey, I like to walk every single day, and after my walk, it could be 3 miles, 4 miles, 5. I'm not hungry at all. I can still be intentional with my diet, then guess what? Walking is more for you because you're still burning calories. It's just gonna take a little bit longer for you to burn the calories, but because your hormones is steady and because you're not burning your glycogen stores, then guess what? When you look at a plate, now you're still gonna act right, opposed to the person that killed himself in the gym. So you need to have a healthy balance, but you also got to understand why you're doing what you're doing. My clients follow an intermittent fasting window, and my clients also follow low carb, but because I actually teach them how to properly orchestrate a plate, they're still having rice, they're still having potatoes, but because they're being more intentional, the scale is still dropping because somebody chose to teach them these things. That's the difference between working with a weight loss program and you working with a nutritionist or a dietitian. Okay? So if you're somebody who is trying to lose fat, especially because spring is now coming around, streets is about to be open this summer, what I'd love for you to do is take the quiz below, quiz.physiquereset.com, and I'll send you a free toning and scope guide. And if it makes sense, I'll give you a consultation and see if this program is a good fit for you. But ultimately, one thing I want you to remember, all because you're burning fat, all because you're eating these fat burning foods, does not mean you're magically going to lose fat in the grand scheme of things. That's all about what type of hormones your body's producing and are you ultimately in a caloric deficit. You cannot finesse fat loss, you cannot outwork a bad diet. But one thing you can do is change your relationship with food so the weight comes off and it stays off. That's the biggest issue we have nowadays. Cool? That's your reset tip of the day. That's gonna be stay snatched all the time. No, the summertime. I'll talk to y'all soon.